All right, welcome to the weekly channel angel message. I'm just going to connect with the angels and that energy and that frequency and see what is most important for them to share with us this week. What do they want us to know? So they're showing me an image, actually bringing me into an experience, because it's not just an image, but it's sounds, it's feeling, it's kind of all of the clairs together. It's like a very peaceful moment of just me walking through the woods in the snow, and I can hear and feel the snow crunching beneath my feet. And it's just so peaceful. And they're really highlighting that peacefulness. It's like I can feel my soul and my spirit so much more. Like all of the chaos and the world and relationships and everything external noise is drowned out, and it's just me, but not in a way that feels lonely, in a way that feels so connecting, feels so embodying. And even though I'm alone, I'm not alone. And it's not like I'm feeling connected to angels and spirits. It's like I'm connected to my own soul and spirit, and that feels good. I'm trying to see like why they're bringing this up, or like where they want to go with this, why it feels important about connecting into to self, to spirit, to soul. So they're showing an image of like when we get disconnected from our soul and our spirit, it can feel like we're not embodied. It's almost like our spirit and our soul's like hanging out here and just kind of outside of ourselves. Almost like when things they're kind of connecting it to, in psychology terms, like in therapy, you might call it dissociation. When things get very overwhelming and chaotic and traumatic and just, it's too much for our body and our brains to handle, we will kind of disconnect. We will dissociate. We will kind of basically leave our body in some way. And in a sense, it's almost like showing how with all the stuff that's happening in the world and every kind of day-to-day life, and maybe in your personal life too, if that feels like that resonates for you, it's hard to stay connected to our human experience, to our body. Almost like our soul just kind of wants to linger out here. But it makes our body and our human self feel not as alive. It feels like it falls flat. It feels empty. So the angels are really talking about when we connect to our spirit and our soul, we're connecting our human experience to our spirit, to our soul, and that experience, and they're merging, and that brings a sense of rejuvenation and aliveness and joy and things like that. We don't feel empty. We feel whole on our own without anyone else. So think about the ways that you can connect to your soul and your spirit to combat that feeling of feeling alone and empty and hollow and just disconnected. Let's see if the angels have any recommendations for us of like how we can do that if you're not sure how to do that. They're asking a question like, where do you find yourself? Where do you reconnect with yourself? Where do you rediscover yourself? Where do you connect with your spirit and your soul? Meaning like they're kind of showing examples of where do you find that inner peace where the quietness feels settling, feels good. There's just a feeling in your body where you're connected to something. You're not untethered. You're tethered to something. They're showing a lot of nature. That's where I often connect with my spirit and my soul. When I'm feeling not very grounded, not very connected, I feel like I'm untethered and floating, and I feel like I can't find myself. It's kind of how I describe it. That's where I find myself again, in nature, by myself, with all of that energy and kind of peacefulness. And it's like I can hear my own spirit again. Some people find it in meditation, is what they're saying. Some people find it in music. Some people find it in concerts. So it doesn't have to be quiet. It could be a loud concert. But maybe that feels like a spiritual experience where you're embodied and you're in the moment, and that feels good. They're showing holding a baby. Maybe it's holding your baby. Somehow that helps you bring you back to yourself, your soul. Ooh, that feels like really good. It feels almost emotional, kind of how they're bringing that up in me. An animal, they're showing like a dog, so but it could be a cat, could be an animal in general, could be a reptile, right? It doesn't have to be um, dog, but that's just their symbol is for in terms of connecting in with ourselves. See what other things that they have for us, that how we can connect with ourselves. Showing coloring, some childlike playfulness. So maybe that's like blowing bubbles. Um, they're showing rocking. So sometimes regulating our body and doing things that feel really regulating to our body helps our soul and our spirit reconnect with our human self. It helps to move from a place of dissociation to presence, to embodiment in the here and now. So anything that feels really regulating to the body that brings you back and brings you into the now experience can help you reconnect to your spirit. And then just like community, whatever that looks like. It could be with your friends, your family, it could be with a spiritual community, it could be with a community around a certain hobby. When we share in an experience with a community, when we feel all connected, like a concert they're bringing in, for example, but it also could be we're all dancing or we're all singing together or we're all doing some type of activity, there's a frequency or an energy that they're showing that really kind of speaks to our souls, and we can feel really connected into ourselves and other people at the same time. We just have to make sure that we're in our body, we're embodied, and we're present. If we're distracted and we're kind of dissociated and disconnected, like we won't feel that energy exchange. It'll kind of miss us or fall flat. So take some time to just think for yourself. How do you connect with your soul, your spirit? How do you reconnect with yourself when you're feeling disconnected? And I hope you can find some time this week to do that and come back home to yourself.